I wonder when you think of the early chapters of the book of Genesis, if you consider it to be an exact account of precisely how creation came into being, or if you think of it as a wonderful poetic allegory that actually isn't really in dispute with the modern discoveries of science, but can actually be seen hand in hand with those. Whatever your approach, whether you think literally or whether you think poetically about these chapters, there's no question that the second chapter of Genesis makes it very clear that Adam is placed in Eden for a purpose. Chapter 2 verse 15 tells us, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it." And so we have a picture of Adam in charge of Eden. He must steward it. He must look after it and care for it. And I think that this is something that has been very true for many of us in these recent days and months. Those of us who are fortunate enough to have gardens have perhaps come to appreciate them much more than we have done in the past. And I know that I have greatly appreciated mine. Now here, down where we live in Bangor, it's not my job to work in the garden, I have to say. All the work in the garden is done by Ronnie, my husband, and all that he asks of me is that I come out into the garden and enjoy it and appreciate it, which I'm certainly happy to do. And so we've had great pleasure from our gardens and great pleasure from the work of stewardship that has been put into them, and I think those of us who are committed gardeners have perhaps enjoyed the actual work itself and the repayment, like virtue being its own reward, the work that goes into being alongside creation and working with creation and creating a garden landscape. And something else that strikes me very much, particularly in Moneyreagh, is about love of animals. We could hardly look at our Facebook page and not be aware, for instance, of the love of dogs and the love of cats, even the dairy cows that we saw as wedding guests in a wonderful wedding photograph from Ravara. And this too fits with the first chapter of Genesis, or the second chapter of Genesis. In verse 20, we find the man Adam gave names to all livestock and to all the birds of the heavens and to every beast of the field. So there is Adam working again with nature, naming the elements of creation and being responsible for them, just as we take responsibility for our gardens and for our pets. We invest love and work and commitment, and in turn we are well rewarded as we appreciate our environments and as we work to steward them exactly as we are told we should do, because this stewardship is very close to the heart of our Christianity.